Now, if you guys made it this far, you can go a little more. The final video, we're gonna we're gonna take a look at Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. This was the showcase that aired a couple days ago, and so we're gonna watch it because, from what I'm hearing, it might be worth the play. And especially, it's interesting that they're resyncing this one because of all the pirate games that have come out. Now, pirate games have always been huge, but they've never really been tackled on because there's so many elements and so many things that interfere and that's hard to work around. It's just you just have to sink a lot of money into it. But with the rise of pirate games right now, this was a smart move by Ubisoft.
We fly no colors out here, but praise the lack of them.
Man, this
Let
looks
a black
great
flag
already.
signal nothing but your allegiance to man's natural freedoms.
If a man plays the fool, then it's only fools he'll persuade, but appear to be the devil. And all men will submit.
Now, I only played Assassin's Creed Unity and I started Origin. But then World of Warcraft hit me, so I was kind of consumed with that.
It's not who you are.
Who am I then?
You're a wonder, Kenway. You've a knack for
This looks great too.
It ain't work if you love it.
And didn't this game come out? Didn't this game come out like over 10 years ago or something like that? And it was already first time pretty good, but this looks really good.
Hey everyone. I have to say it is so good to be here. I played Edward Kenway more than a decade ago, and you know, he's one of those characters
10 years
that
ago.
never really leaves you. Now, over the past months, we know that you've been waiting.
They do say this has been the best. This has been the
And
best
today,
Assassin's
it
Creed
is
game. A lot of people had that
finally time
opinion.
to share with you what we've been working on. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is a faithful remake of one of the most beloved Assassin's Creed games. It's totally rebuilt from the ground up with the latest version of the Anvil engine and enriched with lots of new additions. Resynchronization with Edward's journey and memories. The same story, the same man, but elevated to a new level
I wonder
of
how much they
immersion
actually changed
and
in it.
realism to bring you one of the most thrilling swashbuckling pirate adventures. And I'm happy to say, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced will be released on July 9th, 2026. Today,
Nice.
guys, you are getting the real deal. The first ever look at gameplay. Everything that's been rebuilt,
pretty cool.
reimagined, and some behind-the-scenes stories. But enough of my talking, yeah? Let's just jump right in. Hello, pirates. Matt Ryan.
I always
here,
thought the
voice of
assassinating
Edward
and the
Kenway.
sneak attacks and aspects of these
is
games are
Assassin's
pretty
Creed
cool.
Black Flag Resynced.
This looks good.
13 years after the original, this remake brings the classic.
Dang. This, even 13 years ago, still looks good. But, like, look at this compared to comparison to this. This is insane. This is insanely different. This is insanely good.
Back to life. Rebuilt from the ground up with the latest Anvil engine to deliver the most thrilling pirate adventure. All right, let's set sail.
Dash my buttons. Your life seems a grand one, if I may say. So full of adventure.
You play as Captain Edward Kenway, a rebellious scoundrel eager to make a name for himself in the pursuit
You know, I bet a lot of
glory,
elements from Windrose
freedom,
did come from this
and
game.
a search for a better life.
This is good. This is good. The water looks so much better, and this is actually really good. Detail with the flags and the trees. He's going with the wind.
gob or I'll fill it with shot, you hear me?
Although you can tell that the character and stuff in the battle scenes already.
After crossing paths with the Assassins and Templars, Edward is drawn into their centuries-old conflict with secret locations and legendary treasures at stake. Along the way, he joins forces with infamous pirates such as Anne Bonny, Charles Vane, and Blackbeard. With them, he helps establish a short-lived, lawless republic following the pirate code and defying empires built on cruelty and greed. Together, in their search for freedom, power, and riches,
pirate games
they'll
will
fight
always be
across a
some of the best
treacherous
games
tropical paradise.
that could
From
be
dangerous
made.
waters
Not necessarily the
to
best
dense
games made, but that
jungles,
could. They had the most
untamed
potential to
lands
be
and
good.
bustling historical cities.
Because who doesn't love pirate games? Like when Raft came out,
From
that's
the
not a pirate
grandeur
game,
of
but like
Havana,
Raft, I was addicted
the
to that.
thriving and wealthy jewel of the Caribbean ruled by Templars, to Kingston's bustling trade hub, and Nassau, the beating heart of the pirate republic. Each city offers a distinct atmosphere shaped by opportunities and conflicts.
Worst of the storms are
Caribbean world
passing.
reaches a new level of immersion and realism, powered by high-resolution textures.
Yeah, the detail is pretty cool too.
Strikingly detailed environments.
Like, look, it's even got the
and a new
lantern
dynamic weather
swaying.
system.
Ooh, weather too. Interesting.
Even underwater,
This is dope. This
exploration
looks
is more
really cool.
expansive, more beautiful, and more perilous than ever before. With seamless access to cities and locations, the world feels truly alive.
That's pretty cool.
Creating the perfect backdrop for a life on the edge, where freedom is earned and danger is never far away.
So it's definitely
Time to
been
draw
enhanced.
swords, lads.
Even the characters have been
The
enhanced, but they
combat
could be
system
enhanced
has been
more.
entirely reworked into an action-oriented experience, while wielding dual swords, pistols.
That's pretty cool. That kind of looks like the Harry Potter approach that they took with the wands.
Every move now plays a specific role.
Like when
with
you block
faster,
Protego.
more fluid attacks and combos.
Looks pretty similar to that.
Land a perfect parry to open up your target for an instant kill. Then follow with up to 4 chained takedowns.
That's cool.
Use
I do like
walls,
chain takedowns.
ledges, and breakables to your advantage. Keep track of your opponents and use all your tools to level the playing field. But fight recklessly, and you will be punished.
And you will be paid.
Whether you're on the hunt or on the run, mastering your environment is key.
So one of the things I noticed, like with this in Assassin's Creed
You'll
Unity, when I played this,
experience smooth and improved
I was just like,
iconic
dude, this
parkour
looks like it's going to be really hard.
From free
This is like the
jumps
simplest part of the game, is the
to back
parkouring.
ejects and side ejects.
You would think it would be one of the hardest
These
aspects, like in
options
Final
offer a
Fantasy and
range
some
of
other games.
reactive
No, this
movements,
is
giving you
the
tighter
easiest part of the
control,
game.
resulting in greater speed.
Maybe not now with the
and
remake,
deadlier
but it
assassinations.
used to be.
Being a pirate assassin often calls for a subtle approach. With Resynced and its enriched stealth system, you can now crouch freely as part of your toolkit to approach targets.
Ooh, you can crouch freely. Okay. Cool assassinate.
Tailing and eavesdropping missions have also been revamped.
Oh.
In the original game, getting discovered meant instant desynchronization. Yes, this was a pretty big pain point. We remember. And now, the action continues. Your objectives remain, but your target will react, and you must adapt accordingly.
Oh, that is cool. That's actually really cool.
All these new interactions offer multiple ways to succeed and progress in your missions.
That's actually really cool because they add a different element to it.
Of course. This wouldn't be a real pirate adventure without a ship. This wouldn't be a... Jackdaw.
You named your brig after a poxy bird.
The Jackdaw. What a beauty. Set sail and freely roam the Caribbean. Now equipped with even more firepower, the Jackdaw can conquer the high seas like never before.
That's insane. That's pretty cool. That looks pretty cool.
With new alternate fire upgrades
This might be a
everywhere,
remake I actually
you now
play.
have more power and flexibility to overcome opponents' ships. in
Although if
any
it's not as good as
situation.
the Windrose, that would be pretty disappointing. Which I guess I can't really pass judgment on that yet. I've gotten like an hour into the game.
You will engage in epic battles, boarding parties, and fort raids. All of these are back and as challenging, dangerous, and exciting as ever.
How do you know who to kill?
To reinforce your crew, 3 brand new officers make their entrance. Lucy Baldwin, the Padre, and Deadman Smith. Each officer has a unique narrative questline that reveals their backstory. Gain their trust to recruit them to your crew and benefit from their special gameplay abilities. Deadman Smith, for example, unlocks a double shot from broadside weapons.
And it's just automatically... Or do you have to be using that character, you think?
Explore
Yeah, dude, the water looks
Caribbean
great.
alongside your crewmates and trusty pet. That's right, you can now find a cat or monkey for the Jackdaw. Engage and plunder
Can you
other
have both,
vessels.
though?
Steer through violent storms, rogue waves. Or just soak up the sun, regaled
up
by
the sun.
shanties new and old.
For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced offers a deeper, more immersive adventure that remains faithful to what players love, while enriching the experience with enhanced gameplay features and fresh quests and storylines, including ones for the officers you met earlier and, just between you and me, new narrative arcs involving our old friends, Blackbeard and Steed.
So they
Defy
did add some
empires
characteristics,
and relive the
or
era's
some
explosive events amidst the ancient war between assassins and Templars in the ultimate pirate fantasy. Gold, infamy, and adventure await. It's time to raise the black flag again.
With Black Flag Resynced, we set out to reconnect with the heart of Black Flag. From the start, the intention was clear: deliver a
Guard dogs.
faithful and enriched experience grounded in what players loved. We've rebuilt the entire adventure using our latest Anvil engine. Expect fully
Yeah, that looks great. Is this supposed to be this building?
overhauled visuals, new additions that deepen its world, and enhanced gameplay both on land and at sea.
The coloring
Movement
alone
now
just looks
flows more
so much
naturally
better.
from one action to the next, whether you're doing parkour across rooftops in Havana or fighting on the docks. Parkour builds on the latest design improvements from recent Assassin's Creed games, while still keeping Edward's classic moves. Combat now offers a more dynamic swashbuckling experience, driven by precise parries and takedowns. Stealth gets its share of improvements too.
I wonder if they're gonna
the
have a
ability to
perfect
crouch
parry.
anywhere. They open up more tactical routes and subtle approaches, letting you shape the adventure the way you
See,
want.
that's not good for
Naval
somebody like
gameplay
me,
also follows the same philosophy.
because I'm the type of person that when I play games and you give me the opportunity to sneak around and do backstabs and stuff, I'm gonna do it the whole time. And a lot of people find that boring.
and offers more tactical options. New officers will join your crew with powerful abilities, while the Jackdaw's weapons can be upgraded with new modes to change up the fight. The sea now plays
That's
an
cool.
active role in how you'll be challenged by the elements. Weather and waves will influence how your ship will handle, while preserving the pace and freedom players remember. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced matters
Okay.
deeply to us and to you. That's why we took the time to rebuild it with the care it deserves. This remains a solo, adventure, and character-driven experience. It is not an RPG. The focus stays on how
You think they'll open it up to PvP? Because I'm wondering the same thing about Windrose too. Because could you imagine how insanely cool that would be? Just two players pulling up with their boats and squads. That would be
You play
insane.
and how you explore the world. And as we develop the game, we organize dedicated workshops with our community. These early player feedbacks played an important role in refining many of these elements. Here's a look at their most recent visit.
Hello everyone, we are here at the Ubisoft Singapore studio where we invited some of our biggest Assassin's Creed fans to discover the remake of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. They've had the opportunity to meet the devs, try the game, and share their valuable feedback with us. Here's what they had to say.
I still can't believe that I can help the dev team to make the game better and improve it when it finally arrives.
I'm part of
It's
that
a sign
process,
of
and Black Flag is
a
my
good
favorite
game
game.
is
So to
when-
be a part of that process
or even
is
movies and
just
TV
awesome.
shows too.
It felt nice to
When,
be appreciated in that way, to give direct input
You actually
about the game.
care about
The
consumer
feedback with the
input
dev team, they were very open
and listen
as
to
a
the
dev team
feedback,
to take the
especially the
criticism,
development
what
team.
needs to be fixed, what's great.
They're what's working on the
even
game.
asked us more questions about it. So I love the curiosity that they show us, and it shows that they truly care about what they do.
I'm just really excited to be back, like with the addition of new audio lines,
Of course
and
they-
new dialogue, and the new music.
They worked on the game. Of course they love it. Of course they want to be proud of it.
I'm super
I think that's another
excited
reason
to
why
actually help improve the
a lot of people are
experience for
trying to do
game.
the stop killing the games
care about
movement.
this game, this remake. When I heard rumors about
Because
this
even devs
game,
don't want to
I
see their
just
games
wanted
go
to be
dead.
involved
That's a lot of hard work and
giving as
years
much
they had to put
effective
into it,
feedback
and you
as
just watch your
possible.
game disappear.
Some of this work came directly from spending time with some of our core players early on. We had them play early builds and sat down with them to gather their honest feedback on the game, tapping into the many things players expect of a Black Flag remake, from gameplay features to visual fidelity. This helped us refine some of our choices along the way. What was interesting was not only to gather that feedback, but to understand why players reacted this way. They were incredibly passionate about Edward, how he moves, how he reads on screen, even the details on his face. That led to deeper conversations. Together, we explored different approaches, tested ideas, challenged assumptions, and refined choices until the intent felt right again. The team's passion and commitment have driven every step of this journey, and we can't wait for you to see more of what we've been crafting.
Oh, it really is so good to be back in this world. Now, I believe the Black Flag is one of those pirate adventures that never really left the players' minds. And it's also really special to be here today with some of the people who helped shape the game back then and who are bringing it back now. Jean, you were creative director on the original Black Flag, and Paul, you're the creative director on Resynced, who's leading the vision of this remake today. Now, before we dive into what the game is now, I'd love to go back.
Is the first
for a
guy still
moment.
working on it,
You
though?
know, so when you started building Black Flag back in early 2012?
2012.
2012. How was the world imagined in the first place? I mean, what were the pillars that were there from day one?
Well, from the very beginning, one of the key central core pillar was fluidity, right? We really wanted the seamless experience, connecting movement, combat, and navigation, all very naturally. And it was the same seamlessness that we were looking for between naval experience and the ground experience, because the other challenges we were facing was to merge actually two fantasies, being a pirate on one side and being an assassin on the other, without any friction. And
yeah,
the
that's
theme
insane.
wasn't
'Cause
just
that's
an
a
add-on,
lot to bring.
the ground experience.
When they
Naval
talked about
gameplay
the
was
Knights
really a
Templars
core
and the
player
Assassins,
from
and
day
there's
one.
like
We
pirates,
also wanted a
and
world
Knight
that
Templars,
feels
and
alive,
Assassins.
right?
Sure, you could
Something
do that in
would
like
react to
Italy
the
or
players,
Rome or some
always
stuff,
in
but
motion. And it was
during the
very
Pirate
compelling
Ages,
to me to
it's
see
interesting.
other people like Paul and his team actually to face the same challenges.
But a lot of people
that
loved
we
this
did,
game when it came
face
out.
back in the days. And
Like I said,
think
a
what
lot of people will
helped,
have this as the
them,
best
craft the
Assassin's
game was
Creed
that
game.
a lot of people involved in Resynced today were already part of the game, the original back then.
Paul, so you were already a part of the team back then, right? So, when you come back to a project all these years later, what stayed non-negotiable from the original vision, apart from the fact that, I'm Kenway?
So, Matt, the one thing that was non-negotiable is the original story of Edward Kenway. We have never approached Resynced as a reinvention. Our goal is to carry John's vision forward. And today, we have much more room to do so since the game is engineered and rebuilt on Ubisoft's latest Anvil. It allows us to push dynamism, gameplay, immersion further, while keeping the original vision and story intact.
Yeah, Jean, and you mentioned before how collaborative the original game was, and can you talk about that, especially with Singapore?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a absolutely team effort back in the time, and I remember actually in 2012
Glad they were smart
when
enough
we
to stick
first
to
came
the
here in
script,
Singapore,
stick
meeting
to the
Paul and the
character.
team to do what we call the blueprint. You
A
know,
lot of people,
this
especially
week
in
of hard work where
TV
the
and movies
game
right
really
now, are
emerged
they're
from
failing that.
the preparatory work. And Montreal worked very closely with Singapore. Singapore built key parts of Black Flag. The naval gameplay was built on top of the Assassin's Creed 3 naval tech that was developed, you know, in some specific missions. But you were also behind a lot of places, locations, and gameplays, you know, like caves, underwater gameplay, forts, ships, and some major missions like the E3 demo that you worked on.
That's right. Right. So there seems to be like a real sense of continuity here, you know, not just in the game, but in the people making it. You know, one thing that that really shaped Black Flag for me was how dynamic the scenes felt coming back to it for Resynced and shooting the mocap scenes in Toronto. The scenes just felt so dynamic, like the original game. And Jean, what was the intention?
Yeah, it looks like they put a lot of work
back
and
then,
development into this game.
when it came to all the cinematics.
So from the start, and it was a lot of
It's always
discussion
nice
with
to see
Kama,
if a
the
game that's
animation
remade,
director
when
back
it
then,
comes out, and if
really
you
wanted
choose to play it
the
again,
scenes to feel
if
alive.
it
You
feels
know, we
like
wanted
it's
characters
the same
moving,
game, or if you actually
interacting
feel
with
if
each
it's new.
other,
And if you feel like
exchanging
it is a
objects,
new
you know,
version
and
of the same
reacting
game,
physically. And that
it's a good
sense of
game.
movement was really part of the game's identity, I feel.
Right. And when you rebuild a game like this, that I guess that becomes a huge challenge, right, Paul? And how did you keep the spirit whilst trying to push it further with all of today's amazing technology?
Well, there are many ways, but to carry on the spirit of Black Flag, we always remembered one thing: to rebuild the game with the original pillars in mind, John's pillars and the original core team's pillars. But the most important thing was the story. Every single small moment in the game had to be rebuilt and crafted. And it took a lot of handcrafting, especially the facial animations. But that's important because that's the soul of the game.
That you men are the pariahs of Charlestown, and I would profit better by using your organs for chum and your bones for char. By Christ!
And you know, when you add new things to a game that people really know off by
Kinda like
heart
a
and they know
pirate.
it so well, the fear is always that the people might notice the seams, right? Jean, when you played it, what did you feel?
Well, actually, I felt like playing Black Flag, you know, and not even noticing where the original end was ending and when the new content that Paul and the team brought was starting. And this is something really, really important. That continuity is very much essential.
You know, Jean, whenever we wanted to change or add something, we would always question ourselves: does this belong here? Would Edward do this? Would John get upset? And if
What would
the
Jesus
answer
do?
wasn't clear, we simply wouldn't do it. However, as we all know, no remake is complete without additional content. So we have added brand new chapters and brand new missions to the game, including a brand new
Nice.
scene with Edward's wife, Caroline, that's written by Darby himself.
Yeah, I remember playing it. Jean, so like there's something, I don't know, there's something deeper in Black Flag than just like pirate freedom, you know, and it's closely tied to the character of Edward.
Yes, absolutely. We really wanted to send a message also saying that freedom without structure doesn't lead you anywhere, right? And Edward's arc reflects that. He thinks everything will be granted, you know, that's the good life, plundering, etc. But then in the end, you realize that you lost all your friends. Yeah. Right? And so this is very important because he grows into someone that understands his own responsibilities and that makes him, like you said, very human.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I really leaned into coming back to the character after, you know, more than a decade. You know, it's the same Edward, but there seemed to be like, for me personally, you know, from the scenes that were written kind of, as I said, more dynamism, but also there's a certain kind of weight to Edward's journey, you know? I guess that with Black Flag Resynced, there are some really kind of important decisions to make, right, Paul? And how did you approach those?
So, Matt, with Resynced, we made a clear choice. It is a pure story-driven adventure, and we are fully focused on Edward's adventures in the Caribbean. As a result of this focus, we have elected to not have the multi.
I love how big of a deal that he keeps making about it. Is a lot of people be like, dude, yeah, we get it. You wanted to stay true to the main story. We got it, dude. Why you keep saying it? He's got to, because so many people nowadays just completely destroy storylines, especially adaptations from video games to movies or TV shows.
New story, new content, and new systems. But we're staying true.
It's literally the easiest way to have the basic success for your game, especially on a remake. Stay true to the original story. Make your changes if you need changes.
The modern day, right?
There you
that
go.
Played a really
or just don't make
role in
the
Black
changes
Flag
at all,
when it was released.
or remake
so
it.
Can you explain how it fit the franchise?
Some things don't need to be
then?
remade, like the Lord of the Rings.
Back then in 2013, the present day reflected where the franchise was at. It was a transition moment, especially with Desmond's story and what it meant at the time. But now with Resynced, I think there were some changes were needed.
That's right. Today,
The setting they're sitting at is really cool too. Do you think that's a backdrop? I mean, clearly,
That
probably.
focuses on Edward's journey while still connecting his memories to the Animus.
Yeah,
The modern day risks
nothing
in Black
moving
Flag
those trees.
Resynced will
What a
feature
dummy.
new moments that focus on Edward's internal struggles.
There's also something about Black Flag that I feel that, I don't know, people still crave what the game brought, you know?
You know what? I think it's because it's a game full of light.
Yeah.
Yes, there is danger and violence.
It's
but
a
everything
pirate
takes
game.
place under
I'm telling you,
bright
people
Caribbean
love
sky,
pirate
you know?
games.
Palm trees, seas, movement. It's very generative.
Because it's like
In
the
that sense of
most
escapism
anti-normal
has always
you
been
can
part of the
possibly
game,
be.
And I feel it's very
You get to
relevant
do what you
in
want, jump on a
2026.
ship, roam the seas, steal
totally.
treasure.
And the other thing that people, I feel, never
Kind of like
get, and
GTA. You
certainly
get to
I
do
never
everything that you
had,
don't
is
do in the real
music.
world, and it's simpler.
Absolutely, Matt. It's the music, especially the sea shanties. The sea shanties in particular have always been part of Black Flag's identity. For Resynced, we have kept the shanties that everybody loves, but we have also added new shanties. They are connected to the story.
Time ago, everywhere was a long time and a very long time.
So today,
That'd be
we'd
pretty
like
cool to
reveal
hear
a
is all the singing and
collaboration
stuff.
with an artist that's deeply connected to the Assassin's Creed franchise. And this artist has a special place in my heart because of his work on Assassin's Creed Revelations. Woodkid.
Woodkid. Ah, cool. Yeah,
That's cool.
That's great.
Hey everyone, Woodkid here. I'm in my studio in Paris now and I have great news for you. I'm back in the Assassin's Creed franchise, this time for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. You know, the world of Assassin's Creed has been very important for me and very linked to my career. It started like 15 years ago or something. And this time, I'm very excited about what we've done. I know that Assassin's Creed Black Flag is a game that's very important to all of you. It's a game about escapism, about rebellion, about exploration, and these are themes that are very, very important for my work. You know, I've explored these themes a lot.
Making it somewhat open world too is pretty cool.
I won't say too much, but I can't wait for you to hear what I've done
It's raining
for
again.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced.
Having him return to the franchise, especially for Black Flag Resynced, means a lot to the team. We've been working on a newly reimagined track specifically for Black Flag Resynced, and we can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Yeah, right. And, you know, music is just one of those things that the people remember long after they stop playing. I mean, I did. The sea shanties, I still play
It
in
actually
my
is
car
true,
from
especially
time
when you
to
start
time,
binge
you know?
watching
And
a show.
this
Because,
game
like I've
means
said a
a
couple
lot
times, I've been
to
binge
you, and
watching One
we know
Piece, and so the theme songs are just stuck in my
means a
head.
lot to
Even
me,
when I go
and
to
I'm not saying
sleep,
that
it's
just
annoying.
because you guys are here. Just working on a game takes me back to 2012, and we all want the game to be the best it can be, and we really hope that you guys will enjoy playing it.
Yeah, so you entered the Animus for real.
That's
Back
right.
in 2012, yeah.
I mean, what a great thing, right? To come back to something, you know, more than a decade after, you know, and get to revisit and rebuild and reimagine this wonderful world. It's just been such a pleasure for me, and I thank you
Yeah, it looks
guys
beautiful.
for bringing me back. Before we wrap this up, I've got a little surprise for you. All right, this is something pretty awesome. I saw it today for the first time, and I love it. So here we have an Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced Collector's Edition. It's so awesome, and inside is a really stunningly well-crafted figurine of Edward Kenway sitting there, slouched like me, really. And he looks really cool, and it's crafted really well. And inside, there's a notebook with all of like Kenway's diary
He's
entries
hyped for
and
this.
journeys about all of his adventures.
He was
and
happy
there's
to come
also
back.
a brooch and a cloth
That's
map,
awesome.
and then some goodies
That's
in
actually
there for
really
everyone.
cool.
So this one is really cool. It's the first time I've seen it today, and if you guys like it, then you're gonna have to get your own because this one's mine.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
You give them an
Welcome to
empty
take it.
box.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. We can't wait for you to live or relive this thrilling pirate adventure with Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. That will launch on July 9th, 2026.
That's coming fast.
I just want to say thank you for all being with us today, and we cannot wait for you to experience it yourselves. Cheers.
Dang. So that looked good. That looks good, guys. Maybe a remake I might actually play. Who knows? Who knows? There you have it. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. That was the showcase we just watched. And that's going to end our day today. I think that was a good place to end. Storm's starting to pick up again. Thank you guys so much for enjoying. Hope you guys enjoyed all the catch-up. These will be YouTube videos soon. So if you want the individual, don't want to watch the whole thing, jump over there. And other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. I appreciate you guys hanging out. We're back tomorrow for some more Minecraft at about 2:30 p.m. Central Time. Take care, guys. I appreciate it. Love you guys.